Ever wondered how the bloody spectacles of Roman gladiatorial fights began? The seeds of these grand contests were sown in the funerary rites of the Etruscans and Campanians, ancient Italian civilizations predating Rome. They believed that the spirits of the dead needed to be appeased with blood, and so, at funerals, slaves and captives were forced to fight to the death. As Rome grew, absorbing cultures and traditions, these funerary rites evolved. During the Roman Republic, these battles were no longer confined to funerals. They became public spectacles, put on by the wealthy and the powerful to curry favor with the masses. The larger the spectacle, the greater the prestige for the host. What began as a ritual to honor the dead turned into a public obsession, feeding the Roman populace's thirst for blood and drama. And so, the gladiatorial games, born from the ashes of death, began to shape the very fabric of Roman life. But who were these gladiators, the stars of Rome's deadliest show? Gladiators were more than just entertainers. They were the embodiment of Roman ideals, courage, endurance, and the will to fight against all odds. Most of them, however, were not there by choice. They were slaves, prisoners of war and criminals, individuals who had lost their freedom and were forced into the arena to fight for their lives. Their training was as brutal as the battles they fought. Gladiators were rigorously trained in special schools called ludi, where they learned not only to fight, but to entertain. They were often taught by retired gladiators, who passed on their knowledge and skills to the next generation. Their diet, surprisingly, was not what you'd expect of warriors. They were primarily vegetarians, consuming a high-carbohydrate diet with plenty of beans and grains to build bulk and stamina. Their meals were designed to keep them in optimal fighting condition, for their lives depended on their physical prowess. Living conditions for gladiators were Spartan at best. They were housed in barracks-like structures, often chained at night to prevent escape. Yet despite these harsh conditions, gladiators were revered, their images used in mosaics and sculptures, their names chanted by the crowds. But let's not forget, not all gladiators were men. Yes, you heard right. There were female gladiators too, known as gladiatrices. These women, often from the same backgrounds as their male counterparts, chose to step into the arena, to fight and to entertain, challenging the societal norms of the time. Gladiators, whether male or female, lived a life of paradoxes. They were slaves, yet stars. They were feared, yet adored. They were doomed, yet they could also be the masters of their own fate, winning their freedom through courage and skill. For these warriors, life was a constant dance on the razor's edge between fame and death. Why did the Romans, known for their civilization and culture, revel in such brutal entertainment? Well, the answer lies in the varied types of gladiator fights that were staged, and the sheer popularity these games enjoyed. From the classic duel between two gladiators to wild animal hunts and even grand naval battles recreated in the Colosseum, the Romans were treated to a diverse menu of blood-soaked spectacles. These games were not just confined to Rome. Across the empire, in amphitheaters that could seat tens of thousands, crowds would gather in anticipation. The air would be thick with excitement, and the deafening roar of the spectators would echo off the stone walls. The emperors, ever eager to curry favor with the masses, would host these games, often lavishing vast fortunes on them. But what drove the popularity of these games? On the surface, it was a thirst for entertainment, a break from the monotony of daily life. But dig a little deeper, and you'll find societal and political threads woven into this bloody tapestry. The games served as a powerful tool of social control. They were a way for the emperors to demonstrate their power and wealth, to distract the populace from political issues, and to maintain a sense of unity among the diverse Roman populace. The games also served as a stark reminder of the Roman military might, with defeated enemies often thrown into the arena as part of the spectacle. The gladiatorial games also held a religious significance for the Romans. They believed that human blood was a necessary offering to the gods to ensure a prosperous harvest or victory in war. The life and death struggle in the arena was seen as a reenactment of the human condition, with victory symbolizing the triumph of man over the unpredictable challenges of life. The games, a spectacle of blood and bravery, were more than just entertainment. They were a mirror reflecting the heart of Rome. But all good things, or in this case bloody, must come to an end, right? As the centuries rolled on, the roar of the crowd and the clash of steel began to quiet. A shift was happening. The societal attitudes towards these brutal spectacles were changing. people began questioning the morality of these games where humans fought for entertainment. Alongside this shift in perspective, Christianity was on the rise. The new religion preached compassion and respect for life, values that were fundamentally at odds with the gladiatorial games. Christian emperors like Honorius started to see these bloody spectacles as incompatible with their faith. And let's not forget the economic factors. Maintaining the games was an enormous financial burden. The cost of training gladiators, housing them, and staging the games themselves was immense. As the Roman Empire faced economic strains, these costly spectacles became less and less sustainable. And with that, the era of gladiators, which had once defined Rome, faded into the pages of history. So what legacy did the gladiators leave behind? The Roman gladiators, birthed in funeral rites, evolved to become a core part of Roman society, a spectacle that both horrified and fascinated. These warriors, despite their often harsh lives, were revered figures, embodying Rome's values of bravery, endurance, and martial skill. Their games, a blend of theatrical performance and brutal combat, were more than mere entertainment. They were a reflection of Rome's power, its social hierarchies, and its attitudes towards life and death. Even as the gladiatorial era came to an end, the influence of these fighters persisted, permeating Roman culture and society. Today, these gladiators continue to captivate our imagination. Their stories, their battles, and their spirit, immortalized in art, literature, and film, continue to inspire and intrigue. Gladiators, the embodiment of Rome's bloodlust and bravery, continue to echo through the corridors of time, reminding us of a civilization that was, in many ways, a world apart. If you enjoyed this journey through the history of the Roman gladiators, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. You can also comment below on other topics you would like us to cover. Join us next time as we unwrap more history. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and stay curious.